Thought I would take you on a walk with me today so we could talk about simplifying and decluttering and how we get to the place where we decide to do that. Thought I'd do a walk and talk video for a change and just kind of talk to you about how I started my decluttering journey, simplifying journey. When I decided to do this earlier, it was overcast and now it's a little sunny, so we'll see if I get too sweaty for you here. But I kind of want to go back to when we moved here to Lake Charles and what kind of frame of mind I was in. Well, for one thing, when you move to a new town and you don't know a lot of people, you're looking for things to do. So on Saturdays, I would pick my husband up for lunch, and then after I took him back, I would go shopping. Where I lived before, we didn't have a Target, we didn't have a lot of shopping in our little hometown. We had to go across the river to do that, but it was all right here in my backyard. And so it kind of became a weekly thing for me to go shopping every Saturday, go to Target, go to Marshall's, go to places like that to see what was new, what was on sale. So I'll be honest, the first couple years we lived here, I was all about getting things. Sometimes I would think, hey, maybe I can be that person that always has the latest this or that, latest style clothes, and because that wasn't me before. And I didn't go to that extreme, but I did go shopping every Saturday. So fast forward a couple of years, and my husband and I find ourselves in a scary situation. He found out that he had a cancerous tumor on the side of his nose by his eye, and kind of turned our world upside down. We were very lucky in that we were close to MD Anderson, just a couple of miles away, and we could get the best treatment possible for him. And one of the things that we also did was rent an apartment there because we needed to be there 5 days a week for his cancer treatments. Of course, our main focus was him getting well, and that was pretty much it. So we rented a 1-bedroom apartment and just took with us what we needed for everyday life. Just the minimum amount of clothes, the minimum of everything. Okay, I'm gonna stop and sit down for a second. Getting a little sweaty. But what I was saying is that we rented an apartment, just took what we needed, only a few changes of clothes. The apartment was stocked with just a few plates, bowls, silverware, cooking supplies, just enough for what you'd need for a short stay. Of course, our focus was on Bill getting well, but aside from that, it was just nice to live in a small, simple space. Only have what you need and nothing else. Fast forward a little bit. Once we come back from 6 weeks of living there, I looked at our home and saw everything we had, and it was just a light bulb moment. It was, why do we need all this stuff? So that's where everything started. Try to get moving again. There's sirens today every time I stop and start. Sorry for the sirens. But anyway, let me continue on. So when Bill and I got back home from Houston, I knew that we had too much stuff. I had never had the opportunity to experience what it was like to just live with a few necessities, other than when you go on a vacation or something and you rent a condo or something like that and you notice how simple it is. But still, we just come home to our homes full of things and continue on that path. That was about the same time that the Marie Kondo movement was starting, and my stepdaughter told me about that. I finally got to the place where I realized that I was organizing my clutter instead of getting rid of my clutter. So that's when I really started making the effort to simplify. So I want to ask you, what is it that made you decide to start simplifying and decluttering? Chances are there was some type of moment that made you really realize that. I think it's always interesting to learn what it is that all of a sudden just hits you like a ton of bricks to say, I just have to do something. It's time to do something. So please leave me a comment and let me know what that is for you. I'm gonna let you enjoy some of the beautiful homes while I talk. I'm gonna give you a break from my sweaty face and we'll look at some beautiful houses while we talk. Isn't this a beautiful home? One of the things I absolutely love about Louisiana is all the huge live oak trees. They're just beautiful. Just beautiful. Now, looking at this house also brings something else to mind. It's a pretty big house, wouldn't you say? I always wanted a big house. Not necessarily a new home, but a big home. That was my dream for a long time. And I could just imagine all the different ways I would decorate it and all the different things I would do. I just yearned for that for a lot of years. And now, I wouldn't want that. I guess the point I want to make is I think that we all go through different stages in our lives, different stages of maturity, different stages of want, different stages of what we think we need. But we don't realize till later in life that there's quite a bit of difference between wants and needs. So I have now found that I don't need all the things that I used to want. It's okay to want things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't want things. And by all means, get what you want if that's what you need to do. But just for me, I can tell that my ways of thinking have changed. And that's really helped me to simplify. And you know what else? I can be content now to just walk by these big, beautiful homes and just appreciate the beauty of them. Appreciate the architecture, beautiful flowers. That's part of what I can do now because I have time to go for a walk. I'm not home organizing all my extra things in the house. Here's more of the beautiful live oak trees that I love so much. Gorgeous. When I first started decluttering, I started with my closet. I would suggest that'd be a great place for you to start if you're just getting started. I'll link to some of my closet videos to share with you. And I didn't do it all right away. That's one thing I want you to realize is that you don't have to do everything in the very beginning. Just tackle a little bit at a time. You don't have to do it all in the very beginning. So I want to ask you, what do you value most in your life? Is it your material possessions? Or is it your time, your experiences with other people? Think about what's most important to you, and then think about what is getting in the way of you having time for those most important things. I'm sure this is a tree that was lost during the hurricane, but look what someone has done to save what was left of it. Pretty sweet. It's just getting a little hot out here, so I'm going to sit down under this beautiful magnolia tree. breeze feels really good. Hope the sound isn't messing up too much because of it. I want to ask you one more question before I let you go today. And that is, have you thought about what you are going to leave to others when you're no longer on this earth? That's not something any of us like to think about, but this is something I think about often, is when I'm gone, someone's going to have to go through my house, our house, every drawer, every closet, all the things that someone's going to have to deal with when it's a difficult time. To me, that's another reason that really resonates with me and pushed me to simplify. I know my grandmother died very suddenly, and my mother was put in a place of having to find things that she didn't know where they were and go through all her clothes and her belongings and try to separate everything out, get people together to give things away. It's just a difficult situation, and so that's another reason why I think it's important to simplify. Hopefully the next time I go for a walk, it's not going to be this hot and you won't have to look at this sweaty face. But I wanted to try this and kind of share with you a little bit about the neighborhood around me that I love so much, and a little bit of Louisiana style, Louisiana trees and home decor. So I wanted to share that with you today. I really and truly am interested to know what has brought you to this time and place. If you're here, it's because you want to simplify, you want to declutter. So I would really be interested to know what it is that was the light bulb moment for you. If you feel like sharing that, of course. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. But I just think it's interesting to know what it is that pushes people to take the path of simplicity. So please let me know. I would always appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider doing that. Take care, keep it simple, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.